It's that time of the year again, the time when I, Haptic, make one of those long-awaited top 10 free-to-play countdowns that you guys like so much. This one concerns free-to-play first-person shooters that are available right now. This list is limited to standalone downloadable FPS games, and if you're looking for browser shooters, I've already made a great video about that you can check out on my channel. It's been a little over a year since the last time I made this countdown, and a lot has changed in the free-to-play games realm. Oversaturation in the market has led to more creative and divergent ideas being favored over milked out and generic ones, leaving us with really interesting and unique games to play. Now, when ranking free-to-play games, I usually consider these following criteria. First of all, the games must be fun. Simple as that. Gameplay is key to a great game. Second, the player base must be at least there. There's no point of downloading a game if you can't find other people to play with. Lastly, the free-to-play model must be alright. I say that because free-to-play games often survive on cash shops and microtransactions, and to condemn them for trying to make money while providing most people with free fun simply isn't fair. As long as the model is acceptable and not disgustingly pay to win, it's fine. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's get started with this countdown. I'm Haptic Gamer HD and welcome to Haptic Countdown number 17, the top 10 best free-to-play FPS games 2015 to 2016 edition. But first, let's pay our respects to the fallen ones.
Number 10.
First Assault. Coming in at number 10 on this list is a game called Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex First Assault. First Assault is a free-to-play FPS game based on the popular Ghost in the Shell franchise. People familiar with it would understand why a team-based FPS centered around its universe would make sense, but will also be difficult to pull off. Luckily, Neopool Games have founded the gameplay on a promising combination of satisfying fast-paced shooting and class-based teamwork. The game is in early access right now, which is why it is placed so low on this list, but what's already established so far is very fun, addicting, and promising. I will discuss more about the game and its mechanics in a first impression gameplay video which is currently in the making.
Number 9.
Unreal Tournament. One of the most iconic online FPS franchises of all time, Unreal Tournament, has gone free to play. The people at Epic Games are using the latest and greatest Unreal Engine 4 to power the game's visuals and physics, and the result is quite appealing. The game is rather refreshing when compared to other shooters in the market. Gameplay flows incredibly fast and has players blasting each other with crazy weapons such as a flat cannon, a chainsaw, or the Redeemer. Although the game is open to everyone right now, it is currently in its pre-alpha season, which is the reason why it is ranked so low. But just like First Assault, the game is already promising in many aspects. I mean, it is Unreal Tournament we're talking about here, so it is almost guaranteed to be great.
Number 8.
Warface. Warface has been a sleeper hit on the free-to-play marketplace lately. Starting off as an ambitious game with gorgeous graphics, Warface has evolved to be a very competent shooter. Although things may not be going so well for its developers, Crytek, Warface is still being fully supported with frequent content updates and events. Boasting some of the best graphics I've ever seen in a free-to-play game, Warface doesn't try much to make itself different. It is your generic modern-day tactical first-person shooter, and somehow that works. The gameplay is fun and the game encourages a wide range of playstyles. If you're tired of PvP, there's a great PvE mode that takes players through various missions across the globe. Simplicity can sometimes be a good thing, and Warface is proof of that.
Number 7.
Hawken. Hawken is a mech-based first-person shooter. Just that introductory sentence alone should be enough for most of you to be interested in it, with the fact that mech combat free-to-play games are pretty rare nowadays. Adhesive games and now Reloaded games have made the gameplay in Hawken very fast-paced, even when playing as the heaviest of the 3 available mech classes. Players blast, dash, repair, fly, and boost their way around beautifully crafted environments ranging from war-torn cities to lush jungles. Firefights are given depth by the game's great physics, sound design, and overall unique art style. If you're into mech-based combat, this game should be on your playlist.
Number 6.
Crossfire. Crossfire by Smilegate Games is statistically the most popular free-to-play shooter in the world right now, with over 5 million registered players worldwide, and there is a reason why it is so popular. Its easy to learn and hard to master learning curve attracts many FPS fans and enthusiasts. Gameplay wise, the game is pretty basic in terms of movement and abilities, similar to Counter-Strike, but it is the amount of weapons, maps, game modes that really help this game shine. Modes include your standard fare of Deathmatch and TDM, and more creative ones such as Mutation and Hero Mode. The game is very simple in terms of graphics, and while that may turn some people away, the fact that it isn't graphically demanding means that almost any PC out there can run it, so if your computer is old or simply not very powerful, this one is an option.
Number 5.
Blacklight Retribution. Blacklight Retribution was one of the first free-to-play games which strived to deliver buy-to-play quality content and visuals, along with a fair free-to-play model. Hardsuit Labs not only delivered on such promises, but the game also has many other strengths, such as its great customization, gameplay, maps, and art style. The customization in this game is so deep that players can literally build their own guns by selecting interchangeable parts such as the barrel, stock, muzzle, among many others. I know other games offer that, but the customization in this game regarding weapons is so deep, it's virtually unseen in other games. The game also has an interesting way of rewarding effective players by granting them access to instant in-game drops. Gameplay and modes are very fun, fluid, and varied. The game is graphically beautiful, complementing its amazing sci-fi art style. Blacklight Retribution is an overall great free-to-play game and should be on your playlist if you're into shooters. The game is also available on the PlayStation 4 in case you're a console gamer.
Number 4.
Heroes and Generals. With so many shooters out there adapting a futuristic style, it is refreshing to see a World War II shooter being successful on the market. The World War II setting isn't the only aspect of Heroes and Generals that sets it apart from the majority though. Rito Moto Games have made a very distinctive game in an era where most free-to-play games center around close quarters infantry warfare on relatively small maps. Heroes and Generals does the exact opposite. It sets players on huge maps filled with many vehicles such as planes, tanks, motorcycles, and even bicycles. Game modes include Assault, Skirmish, and Interdiction. The game also has a strategy counterpart, which is playable from phones and tablets. Heroes on the ground take care of infantry and vehicle combat, while Generals focus on strategy and resource management. It is a clever idea when you think about it, and it even attracts strategy game players. If that alone wasn't enough, Heroes and Generals also has a campaign mode. How awesome is that?
Number 3.
PlanetSide 2. Daybreak Games' PlanetSide 2, like Heroes and Generals, is a large-scale warfare game that takes place on a vast and open, persistent world. Players can choose from 3 distinct factions at war with each other, each boasting their own classes, vehicles, and weapons. Each faction has 6 soldier classes which help cover any type of situation on the battlefield. What's very attractive about PlanetSide 2 is the fact that a single map can hold up to 2,000 players, each battling it out over objectives on an everlasting night and day battle. The game comes very close to emulating what a real Warzone feels like, and its high quality graphics, granted your PC can handle them, are partially responsible for that. If you're willing to try this one, I recommend having a couple of friends joining you on the battlefield, as your experience in this game vastly improves when playing cooperatively. Like Blacklight Retribution, PlanetSide 2 is also available on the PlayStation 4.
Number 2.
Team Fortress 2. TF2 is one of those games which you don't even need to introduce. It is a free-to-play behemoth if you ask me, and there is a reason why it is always featured on virtually every free-to-play FPS list out there. Besides having some of the funniest and most memorable character classes out there, TF2's class system combat is engaging, deep, and innovative. It is one of the games that paved the way for the wave of class-based shooters emerging this decade. Its free-to-play model is one of the best on the market, encouraging trade and supporting its impressive community over pay-to-win tendencies. TF2 is also home to great and innovative game modes such as Payload and Arms Race. Valve makes sure that the game stays interesting by constantly updating it, adding new game modes, weapons, and community maps and items. Now, before we reach number 1, here are a few honorable mentions. These are games that were good, but still couldn't stand beside the ones which made the list.
And finally, number 1.
Dirty Bomb. I'll be the first one to admit the free-to-play FPS market is kinda getting saturated. You have many games coming out that either fail at introducing something innovative to players or imitate existing concepts very poorly and half-heartedly. Splash Damage's recent release, Dirty Bomb, is a game that does both very well. It clearly does a good job of imitating from its inspirations, but also goes that extra mile in introducing enough new elements and aspects for it to have its own identity. Players take control of many different mercenaries, each with different weapons, abilities, and roles on the battlefield. Gameplay is fast but incredibly tactical, as each player has a specific set of skills, and using them effectively towards playing the objective is key to winning. Speaking of objectives, the game has interesting game modes such as Extraction and Search and Destroy, and when such objectives are complemented by the map design, which is one of the best I've seen in a while, it results in a truly great experience from a game with great potential. The deep class-based combat, interesting modes, and amazing map design all lead to an experience which only certain AAA games can offer, notably Team Fortress 2. Dirty Bomb takes the number 1 spot on this countdown. Alright fellow gamers, this is the end of my countdown. If you tried any of these titles before or after watching this video, let me know what you think about them in the comment section below. Also feel free to suggest ideas for future countdowns, because I will definitely consider them. Like and share if you enjoyed, I always appreciate that, and thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Haptic is out.